Hi, Minister Guilbeault. Welcome to your new role.
We were so happy to hear your recent statements at COP26, where you spoke so clearly about protecting the rights of Indigenous people.
So we were shocked when one of your first acts as Minister was to sign off on the draft terms of reference for the regional assessment of the Ring of Fire. Supporting these terms of reference goes against everything you say you believe in. These terms cut the region's Indigenous peoples out of decision-making roles on their own lands.
We're concerned that you may not have been briefed fully and properly about the Ring of Fire, so let us help you. We are all treaty peoples, and that comes with both rights and responsibilities.
You say you want to be part of that, to stand for treaty rights and obligations and for our common climate future. And the first step is to listen. Politicians before you have chosen to ignore the diverse and important perspectives in the Indigenous grassroots of Treaty 9, as well as allies across the country who are saying that there's a lot to be worried about when it comes to the Ring of Fire.
So let's try to fix that. Allow us to provide you with the treaty people's briefing on what's been going on with the Ring of Fire before you got here. This video is just one part of a series of diverse voices on this issue.
Keep an eye out for more as we share them. You've probably heard that the Ring of Fire will create jobs for Indigenous communities, but there's more to the story.
Bonjour, Gary Quisses. I did grow up in Lazam. I was born and raised there. My family was traveling back and forth down the river, all the way almost to Pim Island. When us guys were sick, there was all kinds of traditional herbs that were used along the river to survive. And that's a very crucial thing to disturb. And I did work down the river where DeBeers mine was. I was very happy to make a lot of money. Then once I started seeing the land deteriorating, it got me thinking. This was non-chemical, but it did a lot of damage. The swamps were getting dried up, natural herbs were getting destroyed, the rivers were getting diverted, beaver dams were getting destroyed. I seen all of that during my time working there. 4 years I worked there. I used to see the migrations slowly disappeared. Caribou, the geese, their nesting grounds are just buried, whatever dirt pulled out from the mine. And you see the communities with no infrastructure, where we suffer. We suffer for the last 27 years with our boil water advisory. It's a huge difference when I was working in the mine. When I come home here, on my rest days, I can't even open a tap here. It really bothered me when I started seeing the mine, what it does to the land. There is a lot of things First Nations don't see when there is a mine. There's no benefits. There's a lot of rules for Indigenous people. They can't even go to their hunting grounds. And that's what I seen. I seen people at obviously suffering. Even people from Neskantaga, we couldn't even go down the river. And this is going to really, really destroy the land. It's a huge thing, this development.
There are so many things to consider in making a huge decision like this. Let's start fresh in a better way. Please act now to stop the current regional assessment and instead allow Indigenous peoples to lead a process to determine the future of their homelands. In your own words, Indigenous peoples have been stewards of this planet since time immemorial. The fight against climate change is not possible without their knowledge and leadership. Any agreement on a path forward must protect the rights of Indigenous peoples, full stop. You said that. We want to take you at your word, Minister Guilbeault. Do the right thing.